Good morning and welcome to another school assembly and the fourth week of the summer term. It's hard to believe that we are already more than 7 weeks into this lockdown process. It's clear though from recent government announcements that further plans are being made to consider the lockdown that currently grips the whole of the UK and to push forward safe plans that will allow the loosening of the lockdown and, with luck, at some point in the near future, a return to an open school. What school opening will actually look like has yet to be established, as social distancing throws up many challenges when dealing with students from as young as those in the nursery to those who are more senior in years, more independent in nature and more willful in decision making. I'm sure that many of you are hoping that the school will regather in some form before the end of the summer term, and I too share that aspiration and desire to have the gates open and our students returning to a functioning school. As soon as we have some clear direction from the UK and Scottish governments, we will prepare more detailed plans and share these with you as soon as we have them. Until then, however, please do follow the rules surrounding lockdown and social distancing, hard as they are, especially in the summer days with blue sky and golden sun, when spending time with friends in the park and enjoying the sun may seem enormously attractive after so long in isolation. For our own health and the health of those who we hold dear, please stick to the guidance and we will get through this together as a school community. Sometimes on my bike ride from the junior school to the senior school, I often see people making use of Invaleith Park and enjoying the sun and open space. Please make sure that you are one of those people who only venture out for your hour of exercise or to gather supplies for your family. Hard as it is, we must look after each other and prevent this virus from doing more damage in the Edinburgh community. I did want to remind students about this process of registration as well that we are now using. It's very important for us to ensure that students are managing to access our educational programmes, and this registration process is one that we hope to use to make sure none of our students are left behind. Please never worry if you are finding it difficult to access the online and remote education packages. All I ask is that you seek assistance from your yearheads and the pastoral team before these issues become significant, and when we still have the chance to provide help, assistance, further guidance, extra time and a friendly word to make sure that you can access learning away from school. Never ever be embarrassed and always know that there are people at school that can help. This message would be particularly important to members of the fourths who will spend this week preparing for their end of year assessments which start next week. Should any student in the fourths require extra assistance or advice, do not hesitate to contact Mr. Mayor or Mr. Murray, who will be happy to help. One other thing I would ask of all our students is for you to have patience and adaptability. This new remote learning process is a different and difficult challenge for everyone. You, your parents, and your teachers, all of whom are having to learn new skills on a daily basis. Stick in there, be patient, ask questions, never be afraid to ask for help, and together it will make sense. And also I ask for adaptability. Things will change in the coming weeks as further plans are made as we approach reopening, and some staff changes to classes may well occur. We are in the process of rewriting the new timetable for August, and there may be some changes to teachers of some classes. For instance, Mr. Turkington, who will be absent with the Army, and Mr. Jed Case, who has stepped back from teaching in the Design Technology Department for a period of time. Things will continue to evolve in the coming weeks of this lockdown period. Please keep checking in school communication for updates. Patience and adaptability are wonderful characteristics that can prevent an enormous amount of needlessly spent emotion and energy. The highlight of my last 2 weeks has been to interview members of our current sixth form as they interview for school eppership next term. It's a hugely uplifting experience to hear so many positive ideas and dreams that the students have for the school, and themselves next year. I equally enjoy hearing about when the school gets it wrong and needs to do more to support our students. As with everything in life, we will never be perfect. And so sometimes these uncomfortable conversations are the best, as they can make us even more resolved to improve. I miss spending time with our students, and these interviews are hugely energising and uplifting for me at this time of lockdown. We often talk in these interviews about ways in which we could improve the school and make it a happier, safer and more welcoming place for our students. Amongst the many superb conversations I was lucky enough to be a part of this week, I had a marvellous interview with one student who challenged the school's traditional Christian approach to education, as they felt perhaps the Christian message dominated the events that the school holds. They felt that in these modern days, when we seek to celebrate a globalised world and the international links that our school has despite being grounded in Scotland, then perhaps we should be drawing our inspiration and lessons from more multi-faith teaching and codes. I, for one, love a challenge. And so in closing this address, therefore, allow me to draw from the words of the Dalai Lama, who rather wonderfully produced a 19-point list as instructions for life in the new millennium. I was reading these instructions last night and felt how apt they were for this day and age, a time when we are all being impacted by a faceless threat. There's one, however, in the Dalai Lama's list that I am afraid myself and the Dalai Lama do not see eye to eye on, but he's never been a teacher or a dad, and I'll let you guess which one it is. These are his instructions for life. Take into account that great love and great achievements involve great risk. When you lose, don't lose the lesson. Always follow the 3 R's: respect for self, respect for others, and responsibility for all your actions. Remember that not getting what you want is sometimes a wonderful stroke of luck. Learn the rules so you know how to break them properly. Don't let the little dispute injure a great friendship. When you realise you've made a mistake, take immediate steps to correct it. Spend some time alone every day. Open your arms to change, but don't let go of your values. Remember that silence is sometimes the best answer. Live an honourable life, then when you get older and think back, you'll be able to enjoy it a second time. A loving atmosphere in your home is the foundation for your life. In disagreements with loved ones, deal only with the current situation. Do not bring up the past. Share your knowledge. It's a way to achieve immortality. Be gentle with the earth. Once a year, go someplace you've never been before. Remember that the best relationship is one in which your love for each other exceeds your need for each other. Judge your success by what you had to give up in order to get it. And the 19th, approach love and cooking with reckless abandon. So, your challenge this week is to use at least 5 of these instructions given to us from the grace and intelligence of the Dalai Lama to guide us all this week. Have a wonderful week.